So today's my birthday. We're doing a mild change of scenery. Huzzah. And I just wanted to say that I could have been married by now. I could have had kids by now. And that's not like a hypothetical. Like, there is a very real world and where there is a Shayna right here, right now, that is married with children. There was a bug in a pool and I had to get it out. So, yeah, there's a very real world in which I have children in another universe. And I will not be naming names, but I do think that it's important for me to share a little bit of my lore so that way people can understand why it is that I talk about the things that I talk about. So I was in my late 20s, I was dating, it was fun, I was still trying to figure out like I knew that I had to figure out whether I wanted kids or not because people kept talking about it, and I was in the gentlest best case scenario, I was indifferent. And then I started dating this guy, and he was so sweet and really kind, and I found him very attractive. I remember there was this picture of him that I saw at his house, and he was holding his nephew, and his nephew was like a baby, but his head was the baby's head was the size of his bicep. And I said, "Ooh, I likes this." And that baby was smiling at him in a way where it's like, "I recognize you, adult." And I was like, "I like that baby likes you." Now, he really wanted kids, and I really didn't care. And I was like, this is a thing that I'm going to have to figure out at some point, especially because I enjoy this guy. Dare I say, out of all the men that I dated, he was the only one that actually made me laugh. I didn't realize how important that was, and I also didn't realize how unfunny I found most men to be until I started dating him. Now, in the process of us dating, he lost his job, and what me dating him during that time made me realize just how much the vast majority of men, dare I say most men, if not all men, not all men, but like their self-esteem is really tied to their finances and how much money they make. I didn't realize how true that was until I saw who he was when he was financially confident, and then I saw what happened when he lost his job and then became increasingly financially insecure. Now, he treated me throughout the entirety of our relationship. He treated me so well. I wanted for nothing. And he enjoyed it. He was actually the first man that I dated that was like, "No, Shayna, like, it's not even just a don't touch your wallet when you're with me. It gives me so much joy and pleasure and peace and assurance to pay for you. So that way you don't have to, you not worrying and you just being joyful around me is all that I really want." And I said, "Ooh, hadn't heard that before." Now my brain chemistry is different. Also, do you guys like my lashes? I did them for the first time. It's a little blurry right now on the screen, so I can't tell if they're falling off or not, but I'd like to say I did a good job. I don't know. Anyway, the more financially insecure that he became, the more that he started sabotaging the relationship, the more that he got like a little snippy sometimes, the more that like plans just started falling through, and not in a way where it's like I understand sometimes plans fall through, but the communication started to, the holes started appearing and the holes only got bigger. And it reached a point where he and I had to have a conversation, and it really broke down to, he's like, "I know the way that I want to treat you. I can't treat you that way right now. I don't know when I will be able to treat you that way again. It's eating at me, and I'm starting to resent myself." Not me, Shayna, but like, he's like, "I'm starting to resent myself because I can't be who I want to be for you." And I'm like, loving the communication. Thank you so much. And then I had to come to a crossroads. And it's at that point where two different futures for Shayna emerged. One is the future that I'm in right now. And then the other one is where I say, "You know what? Not only is that okay, but I will wait with you in the water. I will continue to be there for you as you are insecure about yourself through your feel and how that shows up for me. I will continue to be in a relationship where I am treated less than because the person who is in that relationship with me considers themselves to be less than. So I will continue to experience less than indefinitely in the hopes that you would eventually become financially secure enough to like yourself enough to be able to treat me the way that you want to be." You see how many hypotheticals are attached to that? And there are people that do that. I'm in the water and I'm really hoping that I wrote this down so that way I don't lose it. I loved myself too much to try and make him love himself enough so he could properly love me. It is easier to know when to step away when you love yourself. I did not realize all of these things. I just happened to love myself too much to wait, to see what would happen, to hope that, oh, well, maybe this man will go back to being the person that he was those months ago. I loved myself too much for that. And then I kept dating, and we left on such amicable terms. Even today, wish him nothing but the best. And then I dated other people and they were great. And then I loved myself too much, not too much. I loved myself the perfect amount, to the point where I said, you know what? None of these are what I need. None of these are like Marie Kondoing, nothing sparking joy. I need to let me go. Let me go. Let me go and let me find where joy is and where I feel alive and at home. And like, I always had great friends, but I was like, I feel like there's more to the world than just me looking for a man in New York and or New Jersey. Let me get out of here. And now here I am. And now here I am. Also referring back to the handy dandy for this one, even though I'm uninspired to date, if I do partner with somebody at some point, I will be choosing myself because I love myself. And I don't think that this is not an uncommon thing to hear or talk about. Like, men choose themselves in their relationships all the time. The way that they do it, though, dare I say, is wildly toxic most of the time, because that's when they're like, ooh, well, I want a woman who cooks and who cleans and who does X, Y, and Z for me, because they're choosing a relationship that suits them. They're choosing themselves in the relationship. They said, I have these wants and I am looking for, and because of patriarchy, a lot of them don't realize that this is the unofficial terminology that they're using, but they're like, because I'm choosing myself, I want to find a domestic laborer who will also choose me. Am I looking for a domestic laborer? No. Am I looking for anybody right now? No. But I know that when I do find somebody, and when I am partnered with them, me being with them would be choosing the best thing for myself. And if being with that person is not choosing me, is not me making the best decision that I can for my future success, my future happiness, my future livelihood, my health, if that is not it, then what am I doing? Because I could be here. I could be doing this. Like, it's not, men do this all the time, and we don't call them selfish for it. And I just want more women to be able to do this. I want more women and femmes and people that are attracted to men to be okay recognizing that it's okay to choose yourself. It is not even okay. It is preferred. It is for your best possible future to consistently choose yourself. And if you happen to be in partnership with somebody where you feel like you are settling, where you feel like you're not choosing your best possible future, listen, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but why is a man here then? Why is a man here? I'm constantly asking my friends, what's the draw? What's the draw? When they start talking to me about a man and I'm just like making that face consistently, I have to ask them, what is the draw? Why is a man here then? But anyway, it's my birthday. It's my birthday and I'm going on an adventure for the next couple of days over here. I might post about this on Black Babes Abroad. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm just really proud of past me. I'm really proud of past me for not settling, for not waiting on a man or on a job or on anything that tries to like fragment me. And I'm really excited for future me. I'm really excited for future me because I know all of the work that past me has done to get to this point. So yeah, those are all of my thoughts. I guess don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I don't know, man. I'm gonna swim in circles for a little bit. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye. Mwah.